are the adventures of the Galaxy Rangers.
What's up, Internet? You're listening to episode 2 of the Series 6 podcast, where we review each and every episode of Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. We are your hosts. I'm RD.
I'm Jay.
Get ready to engage your hyperdrives. So this time around, we'll be reviewing the second episode titled New Frontier. But before getting into that, let's talk about why we're so late releasing this one.
What? Somebody had technical difficulties with their own computer. That somebody name could begin with a J? Just maybe. Just saying. It was me. So, and I've already thrown myself on my sword a couple times now. So,
all right.
Can we get to the review now? Right?
Let's get to the review. We're going to start the episode now. It's going to be playing in the background. And we'll do our usual spiel. Okay, so this episode, it starts off in Galactic Alliance headquarters. I forgot what you called it, Beta Mountain or something?
Beta Mountain, that's correct.
Wow. See, the first time we recorded it, you said Beta Mountain, and I remembered it.
You remembered it? See, you're calling it Galactic Headquarters of the Power Cowboys. I don't know.
Power Cowboys.
So, I don't know. I don't remember what you said. This is what happens when we re-record stuff, because it's going to be stupider.
It's definitely stupider, yes. Okay, so a floating brain walks into the briefing room, right? I forget his name. You can remind me again.
General Nagada.
Okay, General Nagada.
Supreme Commander.
He is a floating brain. He's a brain that's underneath a glass dome that's on top of like a triangular flying saucer type of thing, and it just hovers into the room and it's talking to people. Whenever he talks, the brain lights up. They do a pan of the room as he's floating by everybody, and you see Buzzwang. He's a new addition. Like, you didn't see him in the last episode, right?
It's the first time you see him, but you don't necessarily get an introduction to who he really is.
No, they don't name him. I think he might have one line or something.
Yeah, and mustache dude, I'm sorry, that dude's mustache is fabulous. He's always fabulous. I can't.
All he's missing is a banana seat, because he has the big handlebars.
Oh my god, yes. So, General Handlebars gives Zach's team the go-ahead. He said Galaxy Rangers are go, letting him know that his new team of specially created, the Series 5 Rangers, right? This is Series, we're calling ourselves Series 6.
That's right.
Series 5.
They're the Series 5 Rangers. We're the Series 6 podcast. Are you just piecing that together?
No, man, I just didn't remember. This is how I lost the track. I didn't remember.
All right. But you skipped over General Nagada's briefing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The information that he shared with the Rangers was kind of important. It was that...
Oh, okay.
What's his name? Captain Kidd is in Tortuna, and he has information about the missing humans that were taken from... the humans that were taken from Kirwin. He knows where they are, and he's basically selling the Queen out because he's on the run from her or whatever. So...
He's a dirty bird.
the Rangers get the green light from Handlebars. And...
Right.
It goes into the sequence where they go up some elevator, and it brings them up to like their charging pads. So each of them goes in 4 different directions, and there's these charging pads that look like Star Trek transporters or something. And that's where they get their Series 5 implants charged.
You ever notice that they're standing on pentagrams?
There's 4 Rangers, and they're only going in 4 directions. So they're standing on a square.
Yeah, pentagrams. Just saying. Look at it. It's a pentagram above and below. It's a pentagram. See, this is why I lose stuff, because I get caught up in details, and I lose stuff. I'm still sorry about that.
Don't worry. Okay. You're forgiven, okay? This is gold. Where were we? Oh yeah. So they get their implants charged. Miko's hair flares out. She says, "I'm charged and I'm fierce," and then she does 2 snaps in a circle.
Wow, she has the biggest bangs. I can't even. Sorry, I'm having a bad hair day. I think that's the issue. We got eyebrows, handlebar mustaches, and bangs. Just
I'm telling you, there's a lot of fuzz on this show. We haven't even gotten into Zachary's eyebrows, man. We talked about the eyebrows the last time we recorded this.
I know. I just saw them again. I was like, wait a minute. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh no, they're still there,
Well,
Jay.
I know, but what's interesting is like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I have to think about it. Every single character in this show has some different hairstyle of some sort. If you look at it,
Yes, you could tell exactly who you're looking at just by their hair silhouette.
right?
All right, here we go.
Anyways, they're charged, and then they go and get on a train to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like a gondola, sort of.
It sounds like the most inefficient sci-fi base I've ever been in.
Wasn't the train up there waiting for them?
No, a little platform slides over, then they walk across the platform, and then they get on the little train.
Well, I mean, look, all right, if it wasn't that intricate, then we wouldn't have this awesome FMV sequence.
That's true. Just true.
While they're in the train awkwardly standing in silence, the hangar is assembling their aircraft, their spacecraft, I should say.
Right. I do love how modular their spaceships are in the entire series. You'll probably see, I can think of 3 variations of the spaceship. This is Ranger 1 is their main ship. And you'll see three variations.
It has different configurations depending on the mission that they're going on, right?
Right.
I remember seeing a like some kind of Mars rover being loaded into the bottom of the front.
Right. I remember the submarine when they went to the water planet. That was cool.
Yeah. Let's not skip too far ahead though. We're in episode 2.
So yeah, the technology in the program is just always really good. I think it was well done. Very Japanesque in its approach. I mean, and I will say there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, because the creators had worked on Thunderbirds before, you can kind of see a lot of that in it. Like if you've ever seen Thunderbirds 2086, which was the show he worked on, not the
Was that
not
was that animated?
yeah, it was totally animated. So it was Japanese animated. Thunderbirds 2086. You got to look it up.
Yeah.
And then Gooseman jumps in his own little craft, which is the Interceptor. And they all launch out of little honeycomb launch bays that look a lot like, for those of you who remember all the sci-fi shows, Battlestar Galactica and
Yeah, it looks like the Viper.
Buck Rogers, they all launch out. Yeah, it does. Viper from Battlestar, I know. It's cool.
And who is the AI in Ranger 1? I think it's GB, right?
Yeah, so GB's in Ranger 1, right?
And Goose in his Interceptor, he has Alma. She's a female AI.
Elma, not Velma, like in Good Times.
No, it's not Velma either, like in Scooby-Doo.
I like Velma from Good Times, but that was different. I had a crush. It was great. When I was too young to have a crush.
Why are we talking about
Captain Kidd likes booty. He does. He says it a lot. At least he did in the last episode.
Let's see, where are we? So they arrive on Tortuna, and they land the ship just out of town and unveil their horses. Now they have these robot horses with AIs. So the horses like talk to them and stuff. And they also have real hair like for their manes and tails. I found that to be weird.
I found that interesting too, man. But I did think it was pretty interesting that all of them have their own interesting little quirks. We got one that's calling Doc the whole time Wilbur, as in Mr. Ed Wilbur. And I'm still saying they should have little compartments where they hide guns and other stuff on these horses. These are robots, so it could be like RoboCop, or even they transform and fly like, some of the ones did in Brave Star. Some of the bad guys' horses flew in Brave Star.
But they look like sleds with horse heads?
Yeah. So now they're inside the bar. In the typical bar scene that happens in all spaghetti westerns, Gooseman walks in, opens the door in his trench coat. It was pretty cool how these guys are from Earth, humans, Galaxy Rangers, rolling up and just coming in there like bosses.
That's right. Like they're perfectly at home in a wretched hive of scum and villainy. So the first thing that Goose does is picks a fight. He starts questioning the bartender, and then one of the patrons of the bar starts smack talking Goose. And that's when he has that famous line of his, "Shut your face."
Shut your face. It's fabulous. I love it.
I'm not talking to you. So the guy stands up and he calls Goose on his challenge, and Goose pulls his gun, quick draw style, and shoots the chandelier above the guy. Goes for the non-lethal approach, right?
Yeah.
Like just further proof that Goose is the good guy. He may come off like harsh and like a badass, but he's still a good guy at his core.
Yeah, true. But, I do like out of the Galaxy Rangers, Miko's the only one with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah. Miko's strapped.
She's rocking a double barrel. She's not playing.
No. Miko with the shotty.
I know. See the girl. And then, of course, Captain Kidd interjects as these four, well, actually the three of them in the bar, pulling out guns on a room full of people. They got cojones and then some.
Yeah. So they have like a bit of a Mexican standoff until Captain Kidd interrupts the whole thing and de-escalates the situation. So now they're sitting at a table with Captain Kidd, and first thing Zach says to him is, "Where is my wife?" Zachary earns his eyebrows.
This goes back to my last sentiment, in which Captain Kidd would be a bloody feathery mess, dude. As soon as I saw him, I'd jump on him. Zach's a better man than me.
Yeah, but he had information that they needed. And how else were they going to find Zachary's wife?
I'd have moments, man. I'd be there like, you'd see me like just trembling in my chair waiting for him to say something stupid. Just waiting, man. They'd be like, Goose would be the dude holding me back. Like, okay, Zach, ease up. He's like, I'm bionic, dude. I'm putting my mechanical foot up his.
All right, so
I'm gonna kick him in his. I'm gonna kick him in so far up, his giblets gonna feel it. I'm sorry, just feel it in his giblets. I'm
gonna kick him in the wishbone.
Exactly. I'm gonna be like, yo, it's gonna be just be like, y'all, like we have a. I would tell him. I would start the conversation. You know what? If I was Zach, I would have started the conversation off a little bit better and told him about Thanksgiving first, and then asked the question about where's my wife. And I come in with the threat. If you're going to come up there like that, like, on my planet, we have this thing. We find the biggest bird we can find. We chop its head off. We bring it to our dinner table. And we eat it with sweet potatoes and everything else. Oh, by the way, where's my wife? It should have went that way.
I mean, he was afraid, Captain Kidd. Or he seemed to be anyway.
Yeah, a little nervous.
But then what does he do? He betrays them yet again. He hits like a button or something, and suddenly the Queen of the Crown's men storm the saloon. So Goose whistles, and in comes Doc with the horses. They all smash in, and Doc bails them out.
It's cave. He breaks out both guns.
Then Captain Kidd goes all chicken shit, so Goose circles back to get Captain Kidd, and while he's doing that, he gets shot in the leg by a laser or something. So he gets Captain Kidd, and then he touches his badge, displaying his ability to heal. Like he touches his badge, his leg glows, and the laser wound disappears.
Right. And I think there's two other spots. So Zach did the same thing. He touches his badge earlier on and actually picked up a table with one arm, his bionic arm.
Yes.
And through the table.
It gave his bionic arm super strength.
Then later on, Queen of the Crown looking through the eyes of a slave lord, and the slave lord gestures angrily that they're escaping.
Yes. So what Captain Kidd had told them is that the humans are, including Eliza, Zachary's wife, are on an asteroid of some kind. And he tells Zachary, I don't want to go. And Zachary's like, that's exactly where we're going. So.
Well, before that, though, can we go back? I want to go back to the pacifist alien again. That dude is a pacifist, right? And why is he the dude pressing the button on...
Are we talking about Waldo?
The cannon. Yeah, right before they get to the ship, he presses the button that shoots at the Queen of the Crown's minions, and he's supposed to be a pacifist.
But the Queen of the Crown's minions are robots.
What?
Yeah.
What?
We're not talking about Captain Kidd's people. Captain Kidd's people are organic.
Right. Well, that's true. I guess so. So he's aggressive to mechanical things, right? Not organic things.
He has no problem killing a machine because you can't kill a machine. right?
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Good point. Okay. Okay, I can see that now. Now I'm going to pay really close attention to how violent this guy really is. He's repressed. He's clearly repressed.
Waldo is a ticking time bomb. That son of a bitch is going to blow any second now.
I guess if they make another season, Waldo's going to be like some Jack Diesel alien dude. Like with look like an alien Rambo. It should be all in.
Where are we? Oh, okay. So on the way to the asteroid, Miko takes Zach's hand and gets a vision of Eliza and the Slaver Lord. It's not really clear why the two images pop into her head, but that's what she sees. And then Miko slams her head on the console.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, there's a sound effect for it.
She bangs her bang. That's it.
She bangs her bang right on the console. And then she says, I'm okay. I was like, wow, are you sure you're okay? Because
that
was quite a whack you took there.
No kidding. She typically has a big forehead.
You left a little blood there. You might need some stitches. I'm okay, she says.
She says, okay, you'll never see the stitches anyway.
There's a piece of your face there.
I think that's funny.
Oh. So they arrive at the asteroid. I'm exaggerating. There was no blood.
Yeah, this should have been.
So they arrive at the asteroid, and
right.
Doc says he's jamming. I guess that means they're in stealth mode, right? And then they knock out a couple of guards using witty banter, I guess.
Yeah, something about asking about his rent, maybe.
Yeah,
checks in the mail.
Like the robots, the way the robots were behaving was weird. Like they don't seem like robots. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then it goes over to the Queen's. What'd you call it? The
Psycho Crypt.
Psycho Crypt. What a creepy name.
Yes, so lame. Agree.
So in the Psycho Crypt, there's all this machinery, and the Queen is taking these aliens called gherkins, and she's gherkins.
I'm sorry, you know what a gherkin is, right?
It's a pickle, right?
Right. So they're pickle people, but they look like prunes, little pink prunes.
So she's
like
the Queen,
the California raisins.
But the Queen is complaining that it takes many gherkins to make one slaver lord. Like, their life force is weak. And I'm like, wow, this woman is really evil. Like, she's showing how sinister she is.
Right.
So
she will kill 3 beings to make one slaver lord.
Yeah, whereas the human life force is supposedly stronger, and it only takes 1 human to make 1 slaver lord. The slaver lord to human ratio is much better. Yeah, so they're creeping around. The Galaxy Rangers and Captain Kidd, they're creeping around trying to locate the Queen, I guess. And they fall through trap doors and go down some like Cloud City style slides, like Luke Skywalker did in Empire Strikes Back. And everybody makes a nice landing. They all land on their feet like gymnasts and whatnot. I give them an 8, except Captain Kidd. I give him a 10. My man landed right on his cloaca and didn't miss a beat.
I know.
He jumped right back to his feet.
Bouncing. And
the Queen says, "You've fallen right into my trap."
That's hilarious.
And I was like, are you sure? These are the freaking Galaxy Rangers. They got Series 5 implants, and they're out to get you. Are you sure they fell into a trap?
Well, the fact that she actually said, "You fell into my trap," ha ha ha. I wouldn't have been. There's no sarcastic Galaxy Rangers. I thought it was funny. I would have laughed a little bit at her.
Well, there's not a whole lot in the way of smack talk with the Rangers. Like, they all seem to be pretty much to the point. Zach, where's my wife? Goose, shut your face. Like, they pretty much say what the hell they mean.
No kidding, man.
They cut right to the chase. So the Queen is like bragging about how slaver lords are her eyes and ears. I'm noticing that the slaver lords, they don't really do much other than lurk. They kind of just stand around and lurk and look impressive, but they don't really do anything. I haven't seen any slaver lords fight. Maybe we'll see them fight in a future episode. I mean, they're like 8 feet tall. Jeez.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty tall.
So she starts waving Zach's wife around in his face, saying "neener, neener" and all that stuff. And then
see, at that point, eyebrows are completely furrowed, and Kid would have been getting mechanical boot up the butt right there in front of the Queen. I would have turned around. I would have had a moment. I would have lost seat when he looked at him. when he looked at him, he's like, she's not dead. She's not dead. You see him sweating. He's a chicken, not sweating. He would have been catching mechanical, biometrical boot up his giblets. I'm not even playing.
Okay.
On.
Now,
like,
let's
Queen would
get
have been
back.
laughing because of the but. No, man.
No, you're.
I'm with Eyebrows. Let's do it right now.
So what happens is Goose tells Eyebrows. Now you got me doing it. Goose tells Zachary to let loose a thunderbolt. So Zachary touches his badge.
What did he
his
say?
arm lights up.
What did he say?
And
what did he say?
And he shoots a thunderbolt. Let loose a thunderbolt.
He did say thunderbolt. He said, can you tap? Like, tap what? She's right here. Fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he meant tap his badge. So, okay, so Zach uses the thunderbolt to blow up the machinery. And I have in my notes, he blows up the machinery and ... freeze the humans? ? Okay.
Yes. Exactly. He grabs his wife. Nico's right there with him.
Mm-hmm.
She ignores the tap comment. and they just break out. And you see the Galaxy Rangers run to their ship. I'm not sure Ranger 1 can hold all of them.
They never show the humans again.
To be honest.
They never show the humans that are freed.
Yeah.
They immediately free them, and then they go, all right, you're on your own. you're free.
They're like, yeah.
To die.
It's kind of lame. They leave them there with slave lords and robots. It's like, you're free, and deuces. I gotta go.
I think they tipped their hand of what their main goal actually was. It was to get Eliza back. That was their main objective. And, they set the humans free. Now skedaddle. Like, what do you mean you need a ride? What do I look like? Space Uber? Get out of here.
Exactly. That's right. Space Uber. Space Goober. So while Gooseman's fighting off the fighters, while they're getting away and leaving all the rest of the humans on the asteroid, because I didn't see them leave.
Because Zachary is single-minded. Oh, we didn't explain how the Slaver Lord crystals work.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So what happens is the humans that are enslaved, that are whose life forces are being drained to create the Slaver Lord, their body is rendered unconscious, and they have a heart crystal attached to their chest, a psycho crystal, I guess. Yeah. And that crystal has a counterpart that sits on the chest of the Slaver Lord. So the only way to make the human wake up is to join the crystals. So what happens is Zachary rescues Eliza's unconscious body. He picks her up, and then as soon as he does that, her Slaver Lord counterpart just vanishes in thin air, and its crystal floats and then flies off to the Queen's hand, to the Queen's waiting hand. And then she starts like going neener again, telling Zach that she's going to use the crystal as leverage and all that stuff. You may have her body, but I still have her crystal and her life force and all this stuff.
Right, and I can see through her eyes, and when she sees, I'll see.
Yes.
Stuff. So pretty much she's clearly a window to whatever he's privy to, as long as his wife's hanging out. So, you just so he's not allowed to prop his wife's helpless, lifeless body up in the house or on any secret bases that they're at.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to take my wife's lifeless body to my special secret base with me so the Queen can know where I am. I
can't travel around with my wife lest the Queen know where I be.
Right.
I can't use my wife as luggage.
What am I going to do? I'm going to put her in the house. That's it. She's going to sit and look at a window.
He could put her on rollerblades and just push her around.
So it'll be like Weekend at Bernie's. Just running around with him.
Oh, he could borrow General Kanata's flying saucer.
Yeah.
She's like on a slice of pizza-shaped UFO, just floating around behind him wherever he goes.
Right. That'd be hilarious.
So, once again, the episode ends with Zachary making a promise to his kids. I'll find her psycho crystal, if it takes the rest of my life. And it may just take the rest of your life, eyebrows. You may have found a new career,
Well, the
pal.
first thing we forgot to talk about how they freeze his wife. They put his wife into cryosleep. That's it. Yeah. And then Zach makes his decree. But I'm just going to tell our listeners for a minute just that these two originally when this was aired, it was aired as one episode. So episode 1 and episode 2 was all one movie. And that's how, when I first saw it, that's exactly how it looked to me. Like, I got to see all the stuff go on with Captain Kidd in episode 1, him being, talking about booty the whole time, and then eventually, getting in trouble. And then the second episode happened. And then,
Okay.
And then it was all like one movie. So it just happened, everything happened pretty quick, Just showed Jack was back on Earth now. After this thing get his bionic arm, it seemed like it happened right after he got away from Captain Kidd. Then right after that, he goes right back out to go see Captain Kidd again. And my problem is still, he just got this brand new bionic arm because of Captain Kidd. I would have been more than happy to show him how it works. And my mechanical boot would still be up at his giblets. I'm going to say it as many times as I have to.
By the way, does Zach have a bionic leg as well?
Yeah. The whole half of his body is.
Half of his body, wow.
Yeah. Arm and legs, yes.
All right.
Arm and legs. So if you go back to episode 1, you'll see like they show it. They kind of showed the whole thing. So you'll see where he's bionic.
So what does the Series 5 implant do for his leg?
In later episodes, you'll see him use it.
What does he do? Roundhouse kick people into space?
No, he actually... There's an episode where you see him use his implant to move this giant gun. Giant, not little. Giant gun. He powers it up, and you see the arm and leg both transform, and he's able to move this thing. Cool. It's just you don't ever really see him ever do anything else on that level of size and magnitude ever. But it's kind of hard. So that's just one side of it's like one side of your body is ultra strong, the other side. Okay. It's kind of like the Bionic Man thing, always pissing me off.
But the Bionic Man had both legs and one arm.
Right. And it was always like, that made sense. His legs can run, and his right arm could do stuff, and then...
I don't think they really thought a lot of that through where, all right, so his one arm is bionic, but he's lifting like a truck and a car and all these like super heavy things. Your spinal cord would not be able to take that kind of stress.
Right. We know about it. I mean, that's
the whole rest of your body would just like disintegrate while the arm remains intact.
Right, exactly. This, I think Bionic 6 got it right.
I don't remember what they're...
If you watch when Bionic 1 transforms, you'll see all the mechanism, their entire frame is so their whole body is. So I think the only thing that's left is their brain.
So they're like RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop, but faster.
Okay, so let's close out this episode.
We should close out this episode because we've done it. We've gone through episode 2. We've talked about giblets being kicked by mechanical bionic legs.
Yep.
And got to the end of episode, and I've hopefully redeemed myself. And I will not delete this one. I feel redeemed personally.
Okay, listeners, so that was New Frontier, and next episode we're going to be doing episode 3. That's Tortuna. So tune in next time. Check us out on Twitter. We're at Galaxy_Rangers. Send us feedback. You can email us at GalaxyRangers, no space, at email.com. GalaxyRangers@email.com. Not Gmail. Because we're excellent. We've been your hosts. I'm RD.
And I'm Jay.
And we'll see you next time. Disengage your freaking hyperdrive.
Something.
I'm just ad-libbing that.
I know. It's fine. Acting school.
Acting! Thank you. Bye. No. Nobody ever got shot in G.I. Joe. But I'm going to close out the podcast. We'll continue talking about this after the credits roll. Nobody died in G.I. Joe until Duke, G.I. Joe the movie, in 1987, which they actually cut the death out of it. I mean, they animated his death, But what they did was they used voiceover to just say that he's in a coma, and at the end of the movie, they don't animate anything else with Duke because he's gone. But Doc says over the radio, "Duke is out of his coma! Yay!" It's like, what? And the TV show, they dropped Sunbow because they were too expensive, and went with Dick, D-I-C, and they really botched the show. They made G.I. Joe horrible. Sunbow did 2 seasons of G.I. Joe and the movie. After the movie, Dick took over. I think they were the same writers, but it was just a whole different animation studio. And even though it was the same writing, same voice actors, same whatever, it the show had a decidedly different feel, and it just wasn't good.
Fighting for freedom wherever there's trouble over land and sea and air.